This week on Pivot with Purpose.
I do remember my grandma. She was just always arguing about me not speaking to my mom. You need to go talk to her. You need to be a better daughter. Da-da-da-da. And she didn't understand that it wasn't good for me. It's like, no. I was having that day, and now that I'm reading there, I remember that I wanted them to just at least acknowledge my live show. Acknowledge that I quit my job. Say congratulations. And I wasn't getting that. So my grandma was doing what she did, which I just usually would ignore her and call her. I called her multiple times a week. And that day I went off on her. And I'm like, you know what the fuck you're talking about. You need to shut up. And if you don't want to talk to me anymore because I'm not talking to her, then we're just not going to talk. Welcome back to another episode. Thank you for showing up. This is Pivot with Purpose. If you didn't know and you accidentally click on like a different episode, but don't leave. Stay here with me. It's going to be a good time. This is the podcast where at times you might come for a little mess that you might have seen on social media or a clip, but you're going to stay for the message. I assure you, stay till the end.
Always.
I want to start off by shouting out, some of my Pivot friends. You guys are literally friends of mine and of the podcast. And today, the Coffee Queen left a review on Apple Podcasts. So if you haven't done so, please make sure you do so. It says, I have been listening to this podcast for a long time. I have enjoyed watching Carla grow as a woman, mother, and business owner. I have had many conversations and DMs with Carla, but the most memorable one was she talked about love a few years ago. She gave me some excellent advice, and I finally took at the end of last year. Thank you, Carla, for continuing this podcast. Oh, girl,
look at you, Cupid.
No, although I feel like I haven't found my forever love. I am a lover's girl.
You're a hopeless romantic.
I love love. And I've told you guys, I am going to find love. It's okay. Just not right now. Thank you so much, Coffee Queen. If you have not yet, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts. If you go and look, there's 18 one-star reviews that just came up. We have some haters. But you ain't doing something right if you ain't got some haters, right?
Can you read one of them, please? I need to hear.
So these are they don't leave a review.
Oh,
they just leave the star.
Cowards.
So what happens is that it lowers the rating, which honestly, so now it's a 4.7 instead of 5.0. So what I need you guys to do is do what you do. My circle, my tribe, my Pivot tribe, go on there and just grab all your friends and your coworkers' iPhones and just search Pivot with Purpose on Apple Podcasts and just leave it a 5-star. You don't even have to leave a review. But if you want to, I will take it. But leave a 5-star just so we can outnumber those really stupid 1-stars. But it's okay. You know what? It happens, and it doesn't change the fact that I have a community. That's one of those things that haters can come, but we're way stronger together. So shout out to you guys for always being.
The devil's working, but God works longer and stronger.
Thank you. Say that again.
The devil's working, but God's working harder and stronger.
I like that. And God does work much, much. The devil doesn't have any new tricks.
No.
I don't know if it was Pastor JJ who said that or if I was watching something. Yeah. It's the devil always comes with the same thing. I'm like, bruh, you got to come up with something new.
It's true. But the thing is, it comes after the stuff that you like, and what you like is not new.
Yeah. It's
It'd be the same.
You want to keep tempting me with these, and I'm like, temptation's not going to work anymore. Well, maybe. But it might derail me for a second.
Yeah.
But the devil's never going to come with anything new. But God is always working and innovating, showing you new levels and new places he can take you and new goals that he has for you that are way higher than what you had. So we're there. But again, the Coffee Queen, thank you. And what is your IG? I always tell you guys, if you're going to leave a review, leave your IG because I only know people by their IG names.
True.
I don't know y'all's real names.
I was talking to one of the IG girls. And she's like, by the way, my name is this. And I was like, thank you.
What's her IG name?
Pinche Metiche.
Oh, yeah. So what is her name? Marissa. Okay, I do know. I'm like, I have talked to her. Week. Yes. So today there are a few things that I wanted to talk about. One of them was burnout because I have I'm feeling like I'm in the space of where I felt back in 2018.
Okay.
When I was in corporate. I'm feeling like I need to make a change, a shift. There's a shift coming. There's a pivot coming. And I'm not really sure how it's going to happen or how it's going to play out. There are things that I need to walk away from, people that I need to walk away from, relationships that I need to end. And I don't know how that's going to go. But it just reminds me again that I'm burning. That internal turmoil burns you out way faster than going to Orange Theory for 45 minutes.
So I don't know if you've noticed, so I got this job in January.
Yes.
And I feel bad saying that I'm already like,
Really?
girl, I come to, how many times have I recorded with you?
I thought that you just had more freedom, more time freedom.
I do have time freedom, but FMLA.
Okay.
Literally. But I'm happy. Like, I don't want to say I'm happy. I think I'm content.
I thought that you had more time.
I do have more time. I have flexibility to where as long as I do my stuff, I'm good.
Right.
So it's like they really don't care as long as you turn in your work by the end of the month. I could do whatever I want.
And that's not what you wanted?
Yeah. I mean, it works because of Rylan.
Mm-hmm.
Huge thing for me. But then I'm like, nah. Like,
It's not pushing you?
No, it's like realistically, the people that go into this role die here.
So I will say this. Maybe take it or leave it. This is me just putting in my 2 cents you didn't ask for. But perhaps this position and having this flexibility will allow you to put time toward a side hustle that really does tap into something that you're more passionate about.
I think so. There's like 2 things that I'm like really wanting to do, which is like the whole stuff with benefits.
Mm-hmm, which we're going to bring to you guys. We've talked about it.
Like that's something that I really want to push because it's like, I think it's more like helping people understand stuff that I enjoy doing.
Yeah. Like
helping people figure stuff out, and because I can explain it well to where someone can understand. So I like that part. And then the other stuff, it's something that I've always thought about. It has to do with like homelessness and all this other stuff. Because it's like
and
a personal...
People?
Well, not homeless people, but mostly like homeless women and children. Like it's a big thing. Because it's something that's super personal to me. Because there was a time when I was pregnant and I was homeless and nobody knew. So that's something that I want to push towards at some point.
Yeah. So I think this is one of those things where you got to bring out, your board and say, what are the things that you want to do? What would that look like?
Yeah.
And I truly think that this job could get you there.
Yeah.
Essentially. Like you're looking maybe for that, what you had in the previous position, which it was always something, right? You're always dealing with someone troubleshooting or whatever.
I'm fixing.
Right. Maybe you can do that for yourself instead of for someone else. And eventually, if you decide that entrepreneurship or doing that stuff on the side is not your thing and your jam is having a job in corporate that allows you to do that because corporations need that, then you just go back and get it. Like we can't.
I want to do more like, and I know that this is out there. I want to be more like somebody that comes to a company and does something for a couple weeks and then leaves.
Okay, like a consultant.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be ideal. Like,
and that's a thing.
Work for 3 weeks, take 2 weeks off. Work for a month, take 2 weeks off.
So
like
my
that.
business coach did that. That she goes into big corporations and she teaches them how to apply certain processes
to their
team.
Up your HR and all that stuff.
And once she does that, and that's a contract, boom, she's off to the next.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a thing.
Because I still want I need structure. I can't wake up with nothing to do. I can't. That gives me anxiety. I need the structure of, okay, this has to get done. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to be here. I like that part of the corporate, the structure.
Mm-hmm. That's
but
the part I don't like.
That's the part that I love.
Oof.
I love it.
But again, I can say oof to that and you're looking at mine and you're like, oof. What? But we need each other, right? Like there's a person in corporate that needs that person that needs that every day going because I can't do it.
Yeah.
So that's how things flourish and how things work. And then you find a partner that works that way. And that's how businesses become multi-million-dollar businesses because 2 partners aren't the same and they work very differently and they just complement each other. But definitely write it out on a board, like what that looks like. But being in a space where mentally and physically you're not happy with something. You could have like a million things that are going right. And then you have it's like a cancer.
Yeah.
One little thing, person, job, relationship, issue, whatever it may be, it could be so small. Mm-hmm. And that will literally grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And now it's bigger inside of you than all these great things that are happening to you. And you're like, what's going on? Why don't I feel happy? Why am I constantly burnt out? Why am I constantly anxious? And it's that cancer grew. Yeah. That anxiety grew and that feeling of not wanting to be there. And then it causes you to burn out. And I don't think people talk about enough burning out, especially women. It's like that feeling that you have, you're always tired. You're just not content with anything. That's burnout. Mm-hmm. And we need to start spending more time on our own. And that is hard. I'm very gassy because I've been throwing up and shitting for the past 6 days. And I also, if you're watching, I have my tits out and my stomach because I also lost 9 pounds in 5 days.
Shout out.
Little stomach bug, little anxiety will get you there. Don't know how to get to the recipe for that, but it'll work.
Listen, you're only a stomach bug away from fitting into the jeans you've been wanting to all summer.
One more stomach bug.
And it's over.
It's over for you bitches.
Not Texas. Tulum. Shut it down.
Tulum in a thong.
The whole day. Topless. Hanging out.
Might be a thing. If you're coming to Tulum, you might see the bit. Okay, I'm just kidding.
I told you what my plan is this summer.
To be naked?
No.
Oh.
That sounds better than what I was going to say now.
What were you going to say?
To hoe all summer. I'm going to have fun this summer. I'm going to go out.
With men?
With people.
Oh.
I'm going to go out with people. I'm going to go hang out.
Are you a sapiosexual? Is that what it's called?
Sapiosexual has to do with like being intellectually aroused.
Pansexual.
No, I am heterosexual.
No. It's called strictly dickly, for those of you that didn't know.
As a woman, yes. If it's a guy, it's the other
If
one.
it's a... Well, yeah.
Yeah, I want to have fun this summer.
And you should.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go out more. I got a couple bathing suits that I want to try on.
I just know I want to stay brown. That is my goal. Stay brown this summer. I am not going back to being yellow. That was like a phase of my life.
Jenna.
She could spray tan me.
You could be brown and contoured.
Let me tell you something. If you live in Orlando, and I always plug her in because she's amazing, Jenna, Salon Catalyst, Sun Cheaters. So within Salon Catalyst, there's Sun Cheaters Tan, I think it's called. Jenna is the most amazing spray tan. And before you say that shit is for white people.
No,
She is black herself. And she tans all the women of color in Orlando. People come in to see her. She will give you, because if you didn't know, and I've said this before, Beyonce tans, Rihanna tan, all the celebrities, when you see them on the red carpet, that glow and evenness that they have is from spray tanning.
Yeah.
And when I was going to Mexico, she's like, do you want me to spray tan you first? She's like, I don't go anywhere without spray tanning first. Because you
look good,
and then you tan very even. So before I go to Tulum, I'm definitely getting a spray tan. And it's not a dark spray tan. It's like it makes you
natural.
golden. It's like your color and golden. Anyway, go check her out because
now I gotta go tan.
And it's 15 minutes.
Apparently, you and Rylan are brown.
You are looking
and I
hincha.
am not brown.
Está bien hincha.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something.
That's white. All right. Well, I definitely want you guys to, start journaling and writing down, some of the reasons why you might be you might be burning out. Jesus Christ, spit it out. Why you might be burning out, what might be in your life that's growing like a cancer and you have to eliminate no matter how hard it may be. Mm-hmm. Because we got to get rid of it. Something else that I wanted to talk about today was along those lines is my forgetfulness. And my issues, my disability.
This is a safe place.
Did we talk about this last episode, or was it me talking about it on live?
I think it was live.
I need a handicap sticker. I really need a handicap sticker. I forget things mid-sentence. Like it's really, and as funny as it is,
when it happens.
That's what you say to people that really.
It's so because it's like you can see it in her eyes. She'll be like la 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 la.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It just goes. So I know that I have ADHD, but I've had ADHD my entire life, right? And that's more of like I'm doing something and then I get caught up and do something else. And I know what that feels like. But what I've been experiencing this past year is totally different. It's totally different. Like I said, mid-sentence, I drive home so many times and I forget where I was going. And I just end up in my driveway autopilot. Okay. Or I get to the driveway and I'm like, oh, I gotta pull back in. I know my neighbors think I'm fucking weird. Because I pull in, I pull back out multiple times a week. Multiple times. I'm doing things at home and I lose my key. But it's really, really bad. It's not just like a normal forgetfulness. It's really bad. And I started doing a little bit of research on it. And somebody brought it up on a live.
Yeah.
And they were like, trauma can cause you to lose, or it causes your brain to be disabilitated. I don't know.
It's like to protect you. Your brain protects you.
It's literally protecting me. It's wild. So for me, it's where I'm going to touch on this. I ended up looking up trauma and PTSD, and it was saying how long-term narcissistic abuse can cause brain damage. Like,
oh God.
Yes. Like legit brain damage. I also looked up, can this shit be reversed?
No, it can't.
So it can.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it actually can. There is some work that I will have to do, of course, on my own. I'm now looking into EMDR.
Oh, therapy.
Yes. Because not only this, and again, I have to say this every single episode because I know that it was a very public relationship and that I've talked about, but I've been dealing with this my entire life.
Yeah.
So if you've been a listener of the show for the years that it's been out, I've always talked about that there's pockets of my childhood that I don't remember. I've been missing, and I was dealing with that around 2019 with my therapist.
Okay.
My memory loss from childhood. A lot of things that I just don't remember, situations. I have a lot of people from school be like, do you remember? Like, Jen will come to me all the time. Do you remember we did this? And I'm like, I don't remember.
Okay.
I really don't, like things from high school, things from when Ayana was a little girl, because that also caused me a lot of trauma when her dad and I split and I was on my own. And, you know, that those first, or after she was 5, those years were really hard for me. Plus, those years on my own, I was really relying on my parents for help. And that was another source of conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So back to this, long-term narcissistic abuse can cause brain damage, and the effects of psychological abuse, so now we'll go for like anything, can come with a lot of devastating consequences. But there are 2 that almost no one knows. And they're from a doctor and a neuroscientist. These 2 outcomes may be the most destructive results of emotional trauma over long term. So this can cause PTSD, or something that's called CPTSD,
Mm-hmm.
which is what now I've been like doing and dealing with. And I was like, you've got to be killing me. So I'm constantly on this uphill battle with my own nervous system.
Okay.
And it's so frustrating because I'm such a strong-willed person.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not stupid. I know I'm smart, but I'm constantly battling my own like nerves.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't stop it. And I remember a year ago when we were here, and I would just bust out crying or like have really bad panic attacks. And I'm like, what am I having a panic attack over? Or my phone would ring and I would lose it.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to someone one day that doesn't understand any of this at all. And she's like, but why are you crying? And I couldn't explain it. She's like, wow, just, it's not that serious. And that made it even worse.
Oh
because
my God,
I'm like,
yeah.
it's not that serious. I know that it's not that serious. And my body is still going into shock. And me understanding that your nerves and your brain can really, they do their own thing.
So I always say this, we're different. You feel everything, I suppress everything.
But eventually it'll hit you.
Yeah, when I have my manic episodes, and that's my brain protecting me. So I have the opposite. I remember everything. I remember everything. I can tell you the date. Sometimes I can even tell you the date of when it happened.
Jesus.
Because it's like big things that happen. So for me, what I do is I force myself to not talk about it or think about it or do anything. This year that I've been podcasting is the first year that I've talked about any of the stuff. Not a lot of it. Any of it.
Jesus.
Any of it.
It's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years. I didn't talk about it. So it's like now, whenever I get stressed out, my brain is like, no. We're not going to get sad. Let's get high.
And then you have manic episodes.
Yep. And then my brain's like, yo, you're way too high. We got to come down. And that's when you have your depressive
episodes. You were to have constant therapy of talking about it and dealing with it, would it be less episodes?
Yes, which is why I continue to go to therapy. But even my therapist tells me, he's like, we're going to have to talk about it. And I'm like, there's certain things that I don't want to talk about yet. Because it's like, I don't know how I feel about them. One of those things is like the whole being pregnant and homeless and nobody knowing.
I know. I didn't know that.
Nobody knew. I had a friend at work that had no idea, and she dropped me off someplace and she had no idea that
Where were you living?
I was literally living in a hotel.
I think we did talk about this.
Yeah, I was literally living in a hotel. But there was one day that I remember I was super pregnant because my daughter was born in February. She was supposed to be born in March. She was born in February. And there was one day, it was Three Kings Day, January 6th. It was 5 a.m. and my daughter's dad told me that he had paid for the week. He didn't. So they were gonna kick us out that day. And I was pregnant. I had to get ready to go to work. And they were knocking on the door and I was panicking because they can come in.
Right.
They have a master key.
It's a hotel.
And I was calling him, and he didn't pick up. And I'm like, and I had to go to work. And I'm like, what do I do? Which is why I have such a big thing about stability. Like a stability thing is huge for me. So that's another thing that keeps me from not wanting to venture off and do anything, because it's like my job, my daughter, I don't have anybody to depend. This is on me. Right. It's my stability. I can't trust anybody else to take care of that, because I did it and it didn't work.
To explain that in a way, CPTSD is similar to PTSD, and it results from persistent psychological trauma. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like physical abuse, right?
It's emotional.
It's mental abuse, emotional abuse. So psychological trauma with an environment in which the victim believes, this is the part right here where it seems like just get over it, but you can't. The victim believes there's no possibility of escape. There's a perceived sense of helplessness, and one's self annihilated over time. This sense of helplessness is so real because I can prove to myself over and over and over that I can do it. And then I have to push myself to do it again with the feeling looming over me that I can't, or I'm going to fail.
Which is why you stay as long as you stay in situations.
Yes, longer than I should.
I can't do this. I can't do it by myself. But it's like, yes, you can. It's like,
I stayed in relationships for years. You know, I've stayed in jobs for way longer than I should have. I've stayed with friends way longer than I should have because they're being really, really shitty people. But you just feel like you can't, and you become a people pleaser as well. So it's like I'm sitting here trying to please people, and I'm like,
or you try to make the best out of that situation,
right? It's like, okay, well, I can fix it. I can fix it, and you become like a Mr. Fix It, and it's like, no, I'm not here to fix shit anymore. Like I don't want to fix anyone or anything else. Like I just want to fix me, but fixing you is much harder than staying in that situation trying to fix it. I will tell you 1,000% you can stay in that situation and try to fix it knowing that it's not going to work, and that is detrimental to you, but it is 100 times harder to try to fix yourself and heal yourself. But it does feel better after some time.
It takes time.
It takes time.
I stayed for 6 years because you know why I stayed for so long? Because I was embarrassed.
Shame.
I was so embarrassed.
Shame.
I would rather fight, yell, deal with everything than have to tell anybody I fucked up.
Absolutely.
Literally, that was my
and
that
you're
was
not
my
the only
biggest
one.
thing. That was my biggest thing.
Especially when we have kids, right? Because they're like, oh my God, you're going to be a bad mom.
No, when I got pregnant, it got worse when I got pregnant. Literally, I was like, oh my God, what did I do?
No, I totally get it. I will just say, if you're having issues with this, go deal with it. My therapist of 7 years, when I got back, I've used BetterHelp in, what's it called? Like
in conjunction?
Yes, like at the same time. It's just like additional BetterHelp plus my therapist. Something's going on with my therapist. Have you ever listened to my podcast, girl? What's going on? I'll help you. We can help each other. Somebody smoke signal to I will not say her name, but you know who you are if you ever listen. I can help you. Let me help you help me.
I can help you.
I really want to be like, talk to me. I feel like we can figure this out. You have taught me enough that I could. She has her own therapist and she's told me this, but I feel like she needs my help. I've been messaging her like,
help.
I hope you're okay. Please let me know. She missed the last 3 meetings. I'm like, oh my God.
She's leaving you on red.
So now I'm going, I'm using my BetterHelp therapist and I'm trying to find another one as well because I do want to do EMDR. I like going to 2 different therapists.
You need it.
I need it. Yeah. I need it. And it's because not only am I dealing, with a relationship that I got out of, dealing with a fucking toddler that they just, where can I take this little nigga to? Somebody take him. Yesterday he was kicking my ass. It's like he's gone on turbo.
Yeah.
Something's happening in these 2s.
Terrible 2 and horrible 3s, I told you. Birth control.
I don't know how I'm going to make it, but
you're gonna make it.
Anyway, I don't even know what I was saying. Thinking about song throws my whole
poof. He's probably climbing something as we speak.
As we fucking speak. No, so dealing with all this. Okay, so the last relationship, dealing with a toddler, plus 36 years of traumatic things that I've been dealing with, like generational trauma that now I'm the one that's trying to break. But I have to break it for my own kids. I have to. I cannot continue the fucking cycle. Not when I'm aware of it. Ignorance is bliss. I don't want to know about Russia or Japan or China coming over here. I don't want to know. If they're going to bomb us, let me find out when the bomb hits my house.
No, it's
I am not.
hit your
I don't
house.
want a gas mask. Don't tell me that aliens are gonna kill me. If the alien shows up, cool. Let him kill me. I am not gonna be 6 months or year or 2 years or 5 years worrying about these aliens coming and this war that's coming. If it comes, it comes.
I'm gonna prepare for the both of us. I'm gonna order a couple more masks.
I don't want to live like that.
It's not. It's being prepared.
I hear you. So the bomb hits. You have now the gas mask.
Yes.
You're surviving.
Yes.
Now you gotta survive watching all this. Kill me. I don't want to survive it. No, then you have to have, you know how many years of like rebuilding all these buildings and fuck out of here.
I don't want to die like that.
Are you serious? No. You would die like what? Instantly and happy, go to heaven. Hello, Jesus.
We're so
You want to be a warrior.
No, I don't want to be I just don't.
I'm leaving with my kids because they're going to be with me. We're all getting bombed up.
How do you know? What if they take the kids to work at some camp? Look at Psalm's energy. They're like, he could probably run the treadmill with electricity.
Well, he's gonna have a great story like Nathan. What's it called? What's his name? Nathan? The slave that ran away. What's his name?
Jesus.
Maybe that would be what Psalm.
Nathaniel.
Yes, Psalm will be a great hero if he survives it and goes like, I don't want to survive it.
You don't even want to prepare for a hurricane.
I have
helped you prepare twice, and you eat all the food before the week is over. You eat all the food. I'm trying to help us here.
I don't know, friend. I feel like, I'm rooting for you to survive the apocalypse, but I'm out. And I'm going to go out happy. I'm going to be so happy because I wasn't worrying about the apocalypse before I got here. So
I'm not worried. I'm happy. I'm good.
You're worried about a fucking...
I'm prepared.
You just called me the other day. Should I move the gas mask from the closet to under my bed? I feel like it's too far away.
I did. You have to think about that.
No, man. I don't want to think about that. I want to think about my ass being out in Tulum. No gas mask. I want to think about Italy. I want to think about new businesses.
God. You imagine you're in Tulum and something happens. You need to get your life on paper.
Can you imagine?
Put your life on paper.
That would be beautiful. Dying in paradise?
I'm taking the kids to my house. Just saying. I need 2 more gas masks.
I forgot the kids are there.
I need 2 more gas masks.
Well, no. She doesn't know yet, and hopefully she doesn't listen to this. I'll give it to her this week. So I am taking Ayana with me to the retreat. Now you guys know. She doesn't know. I've been telling her I feel like she'll be 18 literally 3 weeks after that. Mm-hmm. And this is, when we go on this retreat, it'll be, for me, very special having her there because I was about to give birth to her. Aww. So I was her age, literally. So she's 17. And in 3 weeks, I'm watching, and I'm looking at me. Uh-huh. And I think that's such a powerful thing for me to have her there. And not only like have my moment with her, unless she gets on my nerves, but I'm sure in Mexico she won't. Have her there and, show her like who you are today is who I was 18 years ago.
Oh, does that make you cry?
Not
I
really.
cry about thinking about Ryland's high school graduation. I'm like, oh my God.
That stuff doesn't make me cry. I'm proud of the girl she is, even with her fuck shit. Like, I think she's going to do well at some point in her life.
She will.
But I was forced to do better because I had her. I just don't want her to go have those issues. But yeah, I am going to, surprise her with being able to come to Tulum. One of the things that we're going to do there and I want to do with her is our journaling workshop. So journaling is huge for me, like really, really big. And we were talking about this before we started recording. And Carlos asked, have I thought about writing a book with my journal prompts? And yes. So just on my phone alone, I have about 150 entries.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
For a year?
No.
Oh,
this
prior.
So I can go back here to 2020, where I really took it. That's when I really took journaling serious. 2020.
That would be a dope book because it's like from happy to crazy.
Yeah, and then my first one, actually, my very first on the journal prompt. So it might be before it, if I'm not, because I started doing like this. Started a new folder in my notes app called the journal. So it might be before this, but the first one. Oh no. Friday, October 19th, 2018, 6:03 in the morning.
Okay. You've been waking up early.
It's a thing. It's been a thing.
Okay,
that was actually right before or right after. That was the week of the live show that I had just quit. The 15th. That was 4 days after quitting my job. Actually, I wanted to read a journal prompt. And I guess this is the perfect one to read because it was 5 years ago, and I think I'm in the cusp of another shift. So this one is, I don't know what I'm scared of or what I'm feeling. I don't know if what I feel is anger or sadness. I'm struggling with the thoughts of wishing every day that it wasn't you who left. I want to call you and tell you about the show. Papi, it's sold out and I'm going through the tickets and I really don't know who some of these people are. Oh shit, girl, I haven't
You were
seen
talking
this.
to your dad.
I was talking to my dad. Okay.
It's already-
This was not, I said I was going to pick one. I knew I was just going to pick one. I didn't know what was going to come up. I don't know who some of those people are. I'm going to look out into the audience and wonder, will it be like the movies and will you be in the back? I want to see you. I want you to see me on stage. I don't know how I don't know how the afterlife works. I have so many questions, but I want to know, how present are you? Last night I felt like I was being a bad mom.
Aw.
But she's such a damn good kid. She went to the car to eat her food and she patiently waited for me. She believes in me so much and I don't know what I did to deserve such an amazing kid. Maybe it's you through her. Maybe it's the fact that she has your heart because she's fucking awesome. I don't want this shit to bother me anymore. I don't need anything. I don't want anything from them, but I wanted support from day one. I'm asking validation from people that don't matter and their opinion will do absolutely nothing for me. Moxie pushed me to do this show and I really didn't even think I could bring out 30 people. Anthony believed in me from day one. And because of his support, Brian was nice to me and I have sound I will need for this show. Everything seems to be working perfectly. I really shouldn't be crying or worrying. Please show me you're there somehow. I just want to know I'm making you proud and that you're boasting about me the way you always did. I am so sorry I spoke to Tata that way. I think I was upset with my grandma that day. I spoke to her that way. I'm calling her today to apologize because I shouldn't have done that. None of this is her fault, and she's just maintaining every day alone without us. I forgot about that fight with my grandma. So, this is the reason why I'm doing this journaling workshop, because I didn't remember this. I didn't remember this. I didn't remember how I felt about my dad that day. I do remember my grandma. She was just always arguing about me not speaking to my mom. You need to go talk to her. You need to be a better daughter. Da-da-da-da. And she didn't understand that it wasn't good for me. It's like, no, I was having that day. And now that I'm reading there, I remember that I wanted them to just at least acknowledge my live show. Acknowledge that I quit my job. Say congratulations. And I wasn't getting that. So my grandma was doing what she did, which I just usually would ignore her and call her. I called her multiple times a week. And that day I went off on her. And I'm like, you know what the fuck you're talking about. You need to shut up. And if you don't want to talk to me anymore because I'm not talking to her, then we're just not going to talk. And I hung up on her. And I did call her like a day later. But I'm going to work on this journaling workshop in Tulum. And we're going to go through certain prompts. And it's prompts of, who you're feeling. That one, I was talking to my dad. I didn't remember. But there are a lot of them that I'm talking to God. There are other ones where I'm talking to my mom. Or I'm talking to my daughter, or I'm talking to myself on a past tense. But there are all these different ways that journaling have helped me grow, because I can go back. And then these days that I feel so sad, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I didn't think I can bring 30 people out. I brought 100 and some odd people out. Moxie, who I still have a relationship with, he's actually helping me get my kitchen done. He was the person that gave me the venue. And he's like, you can do this. And I'm like, no, I can't. He's like, yes, you can. Anthony actually had a studio out in Longwood that I would use. It was a music studio and he created a set for me and all these things. And he's like, I'll provide the sound so you can have sound that day. Because it was just an art gallery. There was nothing there. And they did all this without me paying them a dime. And I ended up donating all the proceeds from that live show to a girl's, a nonprofit of some sort. But we will work in Tulum. And I will probably go over some more, journal entries, because now I'm intrigued. What the hell was I going through before? Girl.
Do you think you would do another live show where you are now?
I think I would do another intimate right here at Hi Hello Labs. They got some shit brewing. I think it may be I don't think I would want to do a big one.
Okay.
Just because.
I mean, I don't want you to do like the Amway.
Shut up. Like even the improv, I wouldn't. I think I would want to do it in an intimate setting because of what the pod is. Yeah. And what it usually always turns and it goes into. People pour their hearts out. And I think it's a very intimate space where people trust me and trust the tribe and the friends that we have around. And I wouldn't want to do that in a space with 500 people.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't be the same. And I will say, I like keeping it. Whether I do them in small venues in different places, I don't know. But I do want to do it again here in Orlando. Because from seeing there.
2024.
Maybe. Or maybe it could even be this year. I won't even put it past this year.
Make sure the other side's done, Carlos. We're going to have to speed it up a little bit.
It could even be this year. But it would definitely have to be intimate because I want us to be able to open up. And I don't want to just speak into a massive crowd and not have the same impact.
Opening up is so emotionally Call me for the after party. I don't like the opening up part. That's just...
But you want to have gas masks.
What does that have to do with opening up?
That's even feelings? That's even more anxious and like, ay. I
want to make sure y'all are safe.
Okay.
It's up to me to keep you and the kids fed through a hurricane and safe because I'm gonna take that on. Don't you worry. I've been watching enough
Starfruit. We can live off of Starfruit.
Not if it's bombed.
Okay, fine. Well, that was a sad point of the day. If you haven't yet checked it out or you still want, I told you till the last minute. Jesus, till the last minute until we have space, you can still come to Tulum. So check the description of the episode. You can still grab your spot. We're also gonna I want to do a Mayan ritual.
Oh, like a cacao ceremony.
And I got it from Love Is Blind. So I actually have the call today with the Tulum lady. But my eyes look crazy because I did put mascara on.
You're okay. You're good.
I want to do like one of those cacao ceremonies where they make us like really go into ourselves. So I'm gonna go and
I don't want that.
I'm gonna get that situated. Listen, Tulum is gonna be an extremely spiritual time. We do have the boat party and we do have the outing, but it is going to be extremely spiritual and growth and recharging and rejuvenating. So get ready to cry, bitches.
I want to do the opposite. I want to get a party bus.
Well, you got to go on Mandy's trip. Mandy has a trip. If you want like a straight
I'm
up
not that
twerking,
crazy though.
I
got a little bit of time.
Okay, because I know Mandy's doing one with Medina, and that was gonna be a wild girls trip. I think theirs is in July. Theirs is wild. I'm not there. No. This one's completely different. You ain't gonna come back and need a vacation from vacation.
You gonna come back
Rejuvenated AF. But I did mention I'm gassy and I was having some cramping or whatever. I've been sick for the past couple days, and being sick, laying in bed, not doing anything. I was told a few weeks ago by someone. He loves all these dating shows. So Love Is Blind, Married at First Sight. There's another one.
Love Island.
And there's another one.
The one on Hulu. Love Some Temptation.
All those. No, there's a Love Is Blind, Married at First Sight. Whatever. We decided that I don't qualify for any of them.
We don't.
There's 3. You want some, you can't have been married before.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't have children.
You're completely out. Strike 1, strike 2, you're out.
They don't want me in the shows at all. But since I was laying there, I'm like, let me watch some trash TV because Housewives, reality TV is one of those things that it's a
de-stressor.
Yes, it really is. Let me watch somebody else do some donkey shit on TV, Yeah. And it's fun. It's entertaining. It's what it is. It's entertainment. And some of these people like Portia, entertaining.
Can we
Nene Leakes, maybe. Nene Leakes, entertaining.
Yes.
Ebony K. Williams, she was on there, entertaining.
That was New York, yeah. Ooh, the Jersey Housewife. I would love.
Well, I don't know that. I stopped watching Atlanta years ago. But anyways, the point is, I started watching Love Is Blind because he was like, let's watch it.
Love Is Blind US, because there's a Brazil one. Watch the US one.
Oh, somebody did DM me about Brazil. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you don't watch Love Is Blind, this might like throw you for a fucking loop now, but. Stop here because it's a podcast. It's not something you can stop right now. It. Go watch Love Is Blind, the first 5 episodes. It's 5 episodes, right?
Yes, I'm caught up.
So you can stop the podcast now. I'm giving you permission and then come back once you finish the 5 episodes, or you can just hang out with us and we can give you the cliff notes.
Yes.
So basically Love Is Blind, you go into these pods and it's a bunch of people. They go into the pods and they date each other. They just go from pod to pod to pod and they take notes. They have this little notebook and see who they kind of like hit it off with. Well, we'll fast forward to the 5 couples that we actually got here. During those last couple of days, some of them are in between 2 people.
They are.
And they're only in the pods for 10 days. Mm-hmm. So season 4, the first person I want to talk about.
Okay, I'm excited.
Is Kwame.
Oh, Lord, Kwame.
Listen, he was in between 2 girls.
Mm-hmm. He was between Micah and Chelsea.
Micah, Chelsea.
Yes.
He really wanted Micah. He really wanted Micah, technically. And then Micah was in between Kwame and Paul. So her and Paul decide we're going to cut things off with the other person that we have. So
we're going to be together.
Right. So she's like, I'm going to go in there and boom, do it in 2 seconds.
Yep.
I ain't going to lie to you. I think her little self did it. Kwame is a black ass name. She knew Kwame wasn't no white person. So I think she was able to let him go as fast as she did because he was black. Just saying. But that's just me and how I felt.
Wow.
Okay, she walks in, and now you've been dating this person. Every day on that pod apparently feels like a month. You're building like these.
It is because you're building an emotional connection with someone.
For hours on a time.
Hours, yeah.
And you don't see what they are. It's just you're talking to them. So day 6, I think it was, that she broke things up. She just walked into that fucking pod and was like, hey, how you doing? So I gotta say something. We're ending this thing. We're ending it.
She said I want us to explore other people. Like, I want us to try other people.
Yeah, so broke up with him.
Yep.
And he was like, okay, I hope everything goes well.
He said, I wish you... Okay, guys, don't ever wish the other person that leaves you well. Fuck them. Okay? Fuck them.
I didn't feel too bad that he was
No, fuck them. Don't wish well.
I get it. But I didn't mind the way he went out. And I was like, all right, cool. He took it like a man. And I really respected him. Wait, took it like a man in the pod. Then he walks out that fucking pod.
And turned into a bitch.
The biggest little bitch. I don't mind a man crying. I love to see a man cry. I love to see emotions. But this man was sobbing over this white girl.
Sobbing.
6 days in, sobbing. You could hear the boogers coming out.
Oh my God.
And he couldn't stop crying.
It was
I was
so
like,
embarrassing.
I was embarrassed for him.
So embarrassing.
Like, I love to watch Intervention when the dads cry over their kids being crackheads. And that makes me cry. I get really emotional. Seeing a man cry with real emotions, but over this shit, over the snow bunny, nah, bruh. And it was just hers.
She does have bunny teeth. She does. She has bunny teeth.
So that was one thing that I was like, bro, what the hell happened here? So then he ended up saying, well, I also had a connection with this other girl named Chelsea.
He had a better connection with Chelsea from the beginning.
Right.
Guys, why do you do this?
Because he knew there was someone else. And you start seeing there in personalities when you know that the person you are attracted to or you might want someone else too. It becomes a competition. And what I noticed between her and also the Irina and Bliss situation.
Keep going with this one. We'll talk about Irina.
What I started noticing is we will forget what our true intentions were or what we really will be best for us. We get into our flesh takes over and we now get into competition.
Then it becomes toxic.
And both times in this show, the people that knew that there was someone else in the picture and they chose more out of competition and wanting to win, chose the wrong person.
Yeah.
Both times. So Kwame ended up going for Chelsea, and I will tell you, I love that white girl.
I love Chelsea. I wish I had her confidence.
Her confidence is amazing. And she's beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Her confidence. So when they met, they got engaged. Him and Chelsea got engaged. They go off to their little island or whatever.
Mexico, ironically.
Mexico. Oh my God. In Tulum, actually. Just saying.
Don't you worry.
Just saying. They get there. And when it's time to meet the other people, Kwame tells her, hey, so how do you feel about me going to talk to Micah?
Before they met the other couples, he asked her, how do you feel?
And I love that conversation. I think we feel differently about it. You didn't like that conversation?
No.
Why?
Because technically, we're on our honeymoon. Kind of, sort of. And you're asking me permission to go talk to some other girl that you were in love with? Excuse me?
So because of the
what do we got to talk about?
Well, a lot. Well, not really a lot. I don't think. No, hold on. Not a lot. I lied. Not. I do think you're going because of the situation. You're being thrown in. It's still a reality TV show, right? You're being thrown in. It's inevitable. You're gonna see this person. You're gonna want to speak to them. They did have an emotional connection. So instead of what I admired about that conversation was the fact that he asked and he let her know, I do want to speak to her. Because it was instead of him showing up and then going to talk to her without having spoken to me.
She gave him an inch and he took 10 miles.
Now that's a different story. That's a different story.
No. Yes. Okay. You asked.
And Chelsea was like, absolutely. She didn't even hesitate.
Because she's confident in herself.
Her confidence was amazing.
But this is the thing. Him talking to the other girl opened up a door of uncertainty because now the other girl's like, do you think you made the right decision?
Well, no.
We shouldn't be having that conversation.
I don't want to have control over you. And that's one of those things that I feel that I want to have that confidence in a relationship where you can tell me, hey, I want to go, there's this ex that I've had here and I haven't had closure with. And
this is too close.
No, I don't mind it.
This is too close.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Go ahead and do it. No. Now it's up to you to only take that inch and keep it very respectful. He took it. He was over there with her in the pool, touching, doing this, doing that. She was doing all kinds of stupid ass jokes. Like
multiple conversations.
Multiple long ones too. While your fiance is out there eating lobster by herself.
Smashing to smithereens.
She said
since you met.
She said they've been going in.
I'm sorry. You can talk to her when we get back home. Not today.
Absolutely not.
I mean,
finish it here.
No, I don't think so. I think him having that conversation with her, you know what that conversation did? It left the door open to, you know what? If it doesn't work out between me and her, you know me and you.
And if that's the case.
And you can't build on that other relationship because you have this in the back of your head.
I want to give you that. Is the word autonomy? I want to give you that choice to do that.
You had the choice in the pod.
No.
And you chose me.
Yeah, but that's the game. That's the show. That's what the experiment. It's an experiment, right? Technically.
Brett ain't don't want to talk to nobody else.
Who?
Brett don't want to talk to nobody else.
I don't know their names.
The really handsome, tall one with Tiffany.
Oh.
He don't want to talk to nobody else. Marshall don't want to talk to nobody else.
Again.
Zach don't want to talk to nobody else.
That shows you who they are. And I'd rather you show me who you are from the beginning than me actually going down that aisle and marrying you. So yes, I'm going to give you that inch to see if you only take that inch and then make me feel secure, or if you took that mile like Kwame did and I hope she doesn't marry him.
But why we got to give him these tests?
It's not a test. I'm giving you free range to do you. That's not a test. That is allowing you to be who you are.
I mean, she let him talk.
And in that conversation, she was like, absolutely, like, as long as it stays respectful, she said it to him. She's like, I can see how you might want to get to know her. He didn't say nothing about leaving out with her in the cut for 30 minutes and touching. No. She didn't say anything about that. She said a conversation.
But when the conversation was a little bit too long, she did say, you disrespected me.
It wasn't that it was too long. That second conversation came when she was like, get us shots. Do this, do that.
Oh, she was doing the most. And
then he had to go over there and after that, you already had the first convo where you're like, oh yeah, you are attractive, blah, blah, blah. We had a connection, boom, let it go. He then went too far. And that was beyond what their conversation was.
Yeah.
And now she knows who he is, and I hope she doesn't walk down the aisle with him. There's new episodes coming out on the 31st.
I know. I hate that I gotta wait now. I should have waited till the season was over so I could binge it.
I didn't know about this fucking show, so I didn't know it did this. It's Netflix. I thought everything came out at once.
No.
So now it's only gonna be one episode or the rest of them?
No, I think it's like one episode a week.
No. Don't tell me that shit.
Okay, I won't tell you. I think it's one episode a week. That's why when I watched season 1, by the time I watched season 1, it was over.
So
I was able to binge everything.
They better send me all of them.
Oh my God, can we interview them?
Yes, I think we can. So I'm going to reach out to some of them.
Irina. I don't want to talk to that hoe.
I will cuss that bitch out.
I don't want to talk to
I will call her ugly to her face.
We had this conversation.
That man said she looks like Megan Fox. Nigga, where? What? With your eyes closed?
But he's not Machine Gun Kelly either. So it's like,
no, but
son dos feitos llamándose lindo.
She didn't even call him lindo. She said he looked like a cartoon character. That's what pissed me off. How dare you call him a cartoon character when you look like that?
How do you feel about the girl calling her man a tonto? That is so
And then said, yeah, my little dumbass. What? But I will say, what's her name?
Jackie.
Love her. She is Carla back when she was 24, 23.
Oh my goodness.
She needs therapy. Really bad. She needs 2-3 therapists. She has a lot of emotional growth to do. You can tell her background, her family's life.
A lot.
She's dealing with a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And this is not to say like she's a bad person. I think she's dope as hell. It reminds me of me a long time ago and the growth that she needs to do. And Marshall, that's what she's with Marshall.
He looks like the French Prince from.
He's super cute guy, light eyes, black guy.
Amazing.
I think I like this season because so many black people.
Yeah.
It's very balanced. It's very, very balanced.
And they put Jackie's Latina.
Yeah, Jackie's Latina. So I really do think that Jackie has a lot of growing up to do emotionally, but she's fun. Mm-hmm. She's fun, but she did call my little dumbass, and I was like, damn. But I feel like I've done that before too. Oh, I used to call men all kinds of names. Just not nice. Long time ago. I said.
In a loving manner? Because she said it in a loving manner, and that's not cute.
I used to do it in both.
Oh, wow.
No, actually, I never did it in a loving manner. It was more just me being an ass. But I feel like she's trying to be funny and loving, but she just doesn't know how to communicate it. Does that make sense? Because when she had her breakdown about her family, I don't want to go back to it. It just seems like she doesn't know how to be loved correctly.
Also, she did mention something. She was like, I don't know how it's going to be when I go back home. He's like, what do you mean?
She can say, I don't want to go back to my old ways.
What
it's only
ways?
been 10 days, baby.
I just chose you. What is your old ways?
10 days.
What is the old ways?
The old ways is 11 days ago. What the fuck? What are you going back to?
What are the old ways? An ex? Because she said she's used to tall, tatted.
Yes.
And he's the complete opposite.
He's clean cut, green eyes,
but
light skin.
you heard what Pastor JJ said. You got to change your...
You have to change your type.
But I don't want to. I love my type. My type is so consistent. They all got jerseys.
You got to talk to
Literally.
Jesus. That's for you and Jesus to
They
take
all
care
got
of,
jerseys. All of them. All of them.
What do you mean jerseys?
They all play football in some capacity.
Athletes.
I know. But I don't want them to be an athlete now. I want you
No. They have CTE by now. That's the problem. By the time we get them, they're already fucked up. We got to get them straight out of high school when they go to college before they get hit too many times.
Hey, a new class graduates every spring.
Brittany Renner had something going when she was going to these colleges trying to find somebody's children.
I said I wanted to be a consultant. I didn't say which
Here we are. But
Please
to wrap
don't.
up the chat on Love is Blind for this week, because I really, really love the Love is Blind situation. So I might do just audio at home. We could do at home, just audio like an extra. If it's weekly, I'm down to do this if you're down.
Hey, I got wine and White Claws.
Yes, we'll do wine and we'll just do an audio like an extra episode.
Oh, we cool. Like do like live reaction, like they do on Bravo.
That seems like a lot of work.
Every time I try.
Okay, listen. Easy.
You say no to me.
I got
so much.
2 mics. We're gonna sit down with some wine, and then after the episode, just record some shit, and we can put it out on like Friday, depending on what days it comes out, or whatever day Love is Blind it comes out. Yeah, because this is just until 5 more episodes come out. It's not like a thing.
Girl, and the preview they gave.
And I'm gonna hit up Love is Blind and see if we can get a check to be like the official Love is Blind pod. Do they have one?
No, they don't.
We
could totally.
We can, and then we'll do it out of here with video if they got the check.
Yes.
Okay. So to wrap this up, Tiffany and Brett are my favorite. I think
I'm scared.
He is fine. Okay.
And you know what makes him even cuter? Like, he's so humble.
So humble. He doesn't even know how good looking he is.
He got dimples.
Oh, I didn't see those.
He has dimples.
Did you see when they were all meeting up for the first time and the couples are coming in? She took her man, her fiance's right here.
The one she just met.
She said, damn, he fine.
He said, excuse me?
No, she said, damn, he kind of cute. And the fiance said, excuse me. She was like, he kind of cute. Oh, he kind of fine. Yeah. And then he was like, I told you.
Yeah. He said, I told you.
Even the man knew. So that was cool. Brett and Tiffany are the only black couple. Well,
I'm so scared.
Jackie is Hispanic and Marshall's black. But then we have 2 blacks. I am a little scared that when they get back into the real world, it won't work.
Yeah. Because, so he has a lot of emotional, you can tell he has a lot of emotional
Yes, he said
stuff.
they don't even say I love you. He won't say I love you. He doesn't know how to be loving and expressing emotions.
Yes, but then he also did say on the last episode that he never wants to make his wife feel like he doesn't love her or doesn't.
So he might break that, generational thing. He might be the one that starts saying I love you and have his kids and say I love you more. He might be the one that breaks it because he's aware of it. I think the first thing is being aware of something, and the fact when he was talking to the guys, when they were having their black man kumbaya on that thing, and they were like, I
don't like when they cry.
I love it.
I don't.
And that aspect of it, when they were all like, you know what, this is amazing that we're talking to each other and telling each other I love you and you're doing great. I love seeing men do that. I really, really do. So
do it in your own time.
No, on my time too. No. On my time on reality TV. But I do really like them. And then later on, we'll talk about Irina and Micah because...
Frick and Frack.
Frick? And I love that the fact...
Frick and Frack.
Frick and Frack, and they're 2 little haters. And I don't think... Again, there's really good editing. Me now being behind the scenes of like editing...
You imagine the unedited parts?
No. So here's the thing. They edit things in a way where it makes us feel this way. They are invoking these emotions out of us because if you see sometimes like some of these reactions aren't happening in real time. They're making up that conversation, how it went. So it doesn't necessarily flow the way they're editing it for it to flow. Like when they're talking and you see the person going, it probably did not happen that way at that time. It
like when she was laying on the bed staring at the Gatorade bottle?
Oh, no, that probably happened.
That is so rude.
Also, I want to talk here real quick on naps And if anyone has anything to say about Tiffany's nap in the pod, she was talking to Brett, and it was like right before he proposed, and he was pouring his heart out.
He poured his entire
like life traumas, how he wanted to love, how he was so into her, and then he's done spilling his heart, spilling it out, like
literally
wearing it on his sleeve. And then he's like, hello. Keep in mind, they can't see each other. Hello. And she was knocked out, like ugly
Cold.
face and all. The girls had to come and wake her up and like play music and be like, your date is over. And he was so heartbroken. He thought she left.
He said, I'm done. I'm not doing this.
So I want you guys to notice that
Guys are too
she's 36.
sensitive.
No. I mean, I would too. He didn't know what happened. He thought she walked out.
It was probably 11 o'clock at night.
Regardless, he just poured his heart out. Let the man feel. I thought it's okay. The way he handled it, I thought it was okay. She was freaking out, but she's 36 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It had been a long day. If y'all motherfuckers don't realize that we need naps by now,
I love
fuck
how you highlighted the 36.
36. That'll be me in 2 motherfucking months. I take naps, especially when I'm having a long day. Let me take my nap and stop judging us for naps. People were talking so much shit about her taking this nap. Leave her alone.
And she sounded a little like drunk too.
Like she had, because they're
she had a couple glasses of wine,
yeah.
maybe. She probably was really relaxed. The couch is probably comfy.
The conversation was great. She was under the blanket. Like, my goodness, let her live. We need naps. They are imperative for our lives. They are extremely important. We have to nap in order to have a good relationship with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all don't make fun of Tiffany's nap.
Nope.
I loved her nap.
I thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine too. And that's okay for him to have felt the way he felt.
I think he overreacted.
No,
I think he overreacted.
I mean, because it's scary. You're like, fuck, I just poured my heart out. I think I really want this woman. She just
what
turned
did you
me
think
down.
happened?
He thought she walked out.
Okay, but how far is she gonna go? You gonna talk to her again? You didn't even give her the benefit of the doubt.
Her walking out basically meant like she said, cut like rude. That would have been really hella rude.
But
Can you imagine now you're in love with someone and they just walk out while you're spilling your heart out and you never see them again?
Yeah, been there, done that.
Oh shit! After you spilled your heart out,
and I never spilled it again.
Oh shit! Well, I'm spilling mine.
I don't spill my heart out. The next person that I spill my heart to, they're probably gonna be like going
I've
down
had my heart
in the casket.
But I'm gonna do it again. I am. We did have a letter, and Stephanie definitely gave me added it in here for me. But I think we're gonna skip over to our Bible verse. So we're gonna take this really quick break and come back and end this on a very positive note. Okay, it wasn't really a break. It was a fake break.
That's a good call.
Oh, go ahead. Like, don't take it as a serious break. All right. So this part of the podcast is where we wrap up the show and I go back to our roots and speak about a Bible verse that somehow, some way could impact us or help us. This week for me, I have a lot of big decisions to make.
Huge.
And I've been extremely anxious from it. I've been extremely sick. I've been sick with the bug. I've been sick with anxiety. I've been sick with burnout. And I've been asking and praying God and journaling, like, I'll never make another decision again without a lot of prayer and a lot of bringing other people into the conversation as well. Like, I love that Carlos's wife walked in what she did, and then I have Carlos to speak to because sometimes we get in our own way, right? So these were two people that I definitely like was big for me today speaking to. I plan on calling Laurent this week. I spoke to you and I spoke to May.
Deep.
Laurent is deep.
He gonna help you write the email. I can see it.
So I do it at Laurent. I've had you that I've spoken to, and May was someone that I can always speak to, and she can see from different dimensions.
Yeah.
And love the way she speaks to me. So I have Laurent to talk to before I make the big decision. But also God. And foremost, God. It's like I have to pray about it and I have to feel good about it because I don't want to be doing anything from my own understanding or even from other humans' understandings, right? They can bring me a lot of different points of views, and then I still need to take it back to the Father. So this is John 2nd. Is that what it's called? 2nd John 1:8. It says, watch out that you do not lose what we have worked for, but that you may be rewarded fully.
Ooh.
And you like that?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. So again, that's watch out that you do not lose what we have worked for, but that you may be rewarded fully. So sometimes we have worked for some things for a really long time. Uh-huh. And now you're sitting in this space. And when I read this, I'm like, oh, I needed it. And again, the verse will give you whatever you may need. I now need to make sure that the decisions that I make and continue to make don't let me lose
all the rewards you've gotten.
Oh my God, because the rewards have been beautiful. The partnerships that I have are
look
beautiful.
At God.
Literally, look at God.
Millions of years old and it still hits. He don't miss.
He doesn't miss. He always, it's like the
He
Bible
don't
always has
miss.
something new. And it depends on what season of your life that you're in. This verse I could have probably read this verse 5 years ago and it made me feel one way. And reading it today, it'll make me feel another way. But still, it's one of those things that I think, was it last week when we brought up the pastor that was speaking?
Oh yeah.
Right. Oof, yeah. But again, you have to have your own relationship with God. Not my relationship with him is not going to do you any good. Our pastor's relationship with God is not going to do us any good. They just deliver. So for me, I have to go in and after the pastor delivers it, or after I see it on social media, perhaps because someone posted a great post or whatever, then let me go read and see what I get out of it, because I feel like the Spirit will then give you something that works for you and bring that out of you. So I know what I have to do. But I definitely feel like this verse,
that's a good one,
reminded me that you don't want to lose the rewards that you already had. You don't want to lose what you've worked for. You don't want to lose what you've built, essentially. So that is today's Bible verse. I really loved it, and I hope that it does something for you. Maybe if you're like in that. It hit.
That was good. That was good.
I like it.
That was really good.
Well, that is the episode. We're calling it a wrap. Make sure that if you want to launch your own podcast, I do have the self-paced course. It's $100 off if you use the code PIVOT. You can get that from carlawamaris.com or idtolaunchpodcast.com. May 1st, we are launching a brand new, it was going to be April 1st, but I had to push it back to May 1st. We will have a lot of things in May.
Yeah.
But we're launching the agency, and it's going public. So right now, if you want to launch your own show, you can do so through the self-paced course. If you want to have a VIP day, I can help you with that as well. Just go to my website, carlawamaris.com, get all the information. But before you choose on anything, just do a clarity call. It's 20 minutes with me. It's $20. I'm only charging you $20 because I don't need you to waste my time. I need to know you're for real. So $20. If you got $20, that's all I'm asking you, to show me that you're ready to invest into yourself. So do a clarity call first, and I will tell you if the self-paced course is best for you, if the VIP day, if doing a monthly, like whatever it may be. And I also let you know you're not ready yet. Go back to the drawing board. This is not for you. For me as your coach, I should say. Or as you're
honest.
Your person. Absolutely. I won't, because then I'm miserable helping you, and I'm not going to want to promote your shit because it's whack, and I won't do it. So that is today's episode. Tulum again, if you wanted to come with us, that is in the description of the episode as well, or my social media, or Carla Amaris. If you go to latest, you get all the stuff there as well. I'm out of here.
Bye.
Goodbye.